Infidelamsterdam, hey, I wanted to make this video, and before I go on, I'll just say I understand that you're pretty much against religion, which, I mean, as far as I know, you're not very, like, I don't know, you don't make videos just about being against religion, so I wouldn't know exactly what your beliefs are like. But I'm just saying, yes, I realize this. But I wanted your input on Christian metal. And before anybody out there calls Christian metal an oxymoron, I'm just gonna make it known that, like, the bands that I listen to are just like a crumb of the Christian metal bands out there. Like, there's just as many subgenres of Christian metal as there are non-Christian metal. And it's like, basically any band that doesn't call itself Christian metal is non-Christian metal. Not saying that it's anti-religious metal, it's just some bands will say openly that they have Christian members, but they don't necessarily have, like, Christian values in their lyrics or anything. Some bands are blatantly obvious about loving Jesus and worshiping Jesus in their lyrics. Whatever. To me, it's like, I love listening to bands that are all about Jesus and are just as heavy and as intense as any other metal band, because for me it's like the most intense form of worship out there, and it's really just a great time for me. But I'll listen to anything I can headbang to. It really doesn't matter to me. It's like, if there's a band that, like, all their albums and all their lyrics are obviously against everything I believe, like almost violently against everything I believe, then I'm probably not going to listen to them. But for the most part, I value music over lyrics, and I just love, like, learning new drum beats and new tunes and everything by whatever metal band out there. So I wanted to get your opinion on a few that I think you may or may not enjoy. If you don't, that's totally okay. But I wanted to suggest a few, because it's like, with some Christian metal bands, you really can't tell the difference unless you look the lyrics up, and even so, it's like, some are more obvious about, like, worshiping Jesus in their lyrics, and some aren't. Some are open about having Christian members in the band, but, like, if you listen to something by Slayer and something by this band, whatever, they wouldn't sound any different. But I wanted to suggest a few bands, a couple albums, I guess, see what you'd think, if you might listen to them. If you don't want anything to do with them, that's totally okay too. But, you know, it's like, I'll respect you and your beliefs and your music if you respect my beliefs and my music and whatnot, and I'd probably respect you even if you didn't respect mine, because that's kind of what Christianity is about. But I don't want to get preachy, just want to suggest some bands. So, I have one of my favorites, Becoming the Archetype. Basically, anything by them is crazy heavy. Not a whole lot of singing, but their second album, The Physics of Fire, they have singing. They have a singer when they did this album, but the rest of the albums, it's pretty much all screaming. There's no singing. Don't know how you feel about singing. For me, it's like, I prefer singing, because, you know, I like melodic type stuff. And Becoming the Archetype is sort of a melodic death metal Christian band, I guess you could call it. So their albums: Terminate Damnation, that's the first one, Physics of Fire, and then Dichotomy. And they released a track online called Necrotizing Fasciitis, and it is probably one of my favorite, like, extremely brutal, crazy heavy Christian songs, like, ever. But that's only available online. I'll spell that out for you here in something below. So Becoming the Archetype. There's Impending Doom. I love them so much. They're amazing. I like them a whole lot. The second album, actually. I think their first album is a little, I don't know, trashier sounding. Not quite as clean. I'm not a big fan of bands that sound like they recorded all their music in a garage with one microphone. I prefer my music to be, like, clean and well, you know what I mean. Just not really gross sounding. I'm not a fan of music that sounded like it was recorded very badly, basically. But Impending Doom's albums Serpent Servant and There Will Be Violence, like, this album blows my brains out. It is so good. I love it. So Impending Doom is great. There's a band that I've been told is sort of a Christian band, but again, it's one of those bands that it's like you can't tell by the lyrics or whatever. Like, their lyrics are just about, I don't know, world politics and corruption and love or lack thereof and all that good stuff. So it's like there's nothing really Christian-y in their lyrics. So they might not be a Christian band. I don't know. But it's a band called In Vain. I don't even know what genre to put them in because they, like, every song sounds completely different, and that's what I love about them, but they're really heavy. So I've got The Latter Rain by In Vain, and then Mantra by In Vain. This one, the song Captivating Solitude by In Vain on this album is, God, it's so good. Like, there's a guitar solo that's, like, just melts my face and everything below when I listen to it. It's like, it's more than a face melter, it's an entire body melting guitar solo. Alright, last band I'm going to talk about, Virgin Black. They're, how do I say this? Like, I've heard them, like, doom, goth, metal, something. I'm not even sure what genre to call them. A lot of their music is, like, really, it's heavy, but it's, like, slow. It's, like, really slow. It's, like, I don't know, like really slow drum beats and not a whole lot of double bass. But the album Requiem Fortissimo by Virgin Black has their fastest songs, and when they get fast, they get really fast. Like 64th note double bass beats, kind of. Double bass beat. That was stupid. 64th note double bass beat kind of fast. And their vocals are just incredible. They're like the deepest growling vocals I've ever heard in my life, and I love it. So Virgin Black, they're a Christian band, but they talk about like the meanings behind their songs as like talking about the difference between actual spiritual faith and Jesus and the church, because there is a difference these days. Like, the church is kind of messed up now, which sucks, but you know. I was also going to ask if maybe if you watch this and look up the bands that I suggested, if you feel like it, could maybe suggest a few of your favorite, like, really good heavy bands to me. Like I said, I prefer bands that aren't in your face against God, but I'll listen to anything and I can enjoy anything. If you could do that, that'd be great. If you don't feel like it or don't even watch this, that's totally fine. But yeah, just thought I'd, you know, music swap sort of thing, because I'm all about getting new music to listen to. So whichever bands that you think are amazingly awesome, then I'd like some examples, I guess. Make a video response or send a message or do whatever you feel like doing. So thanks for watching if you did. Bye.